Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome back to another episode of True Myths, One Lie, the game show in the form of a podcast all about myths, urban legends, conspiracies, all the things that we don't fully understand. I'm your host, Anthony Manella, and the way that the game works is 3 stories are going to be told, 2 of which are from people online that claim that these stories are real, and 1 that is completely made up. It is up to my guests to try and figure out. They're very distracting right now. They all just put bandanas on out of nowhere. It's kind of beautiful. Anyway, it's up to my guests and all of you at home to try and figure out which story is the lie.
Did I put it on right?
Good enough. It looks good to me. Today's first guest is the person who once got yelled at in school for quote-unquote bullying me, Ryan McCauley.
Oh, yeah. We, in senior year, did a lot of really fun things, one of which being we had a year-long massive game of tag going. We go to tag Anthony in front of psych class, and we're gonna do it for any of Avatar: The Last Airbender fans / Legend of Korra, because this is from Legend of Korra, how Amon would use his thumb to take the bending away. We held Anthony down while the person who was pressing his thumb into Anthony's forehead to tag him. And then the teacher came and flipped out on us and thought we were bullying him. I was specifically holding Anthony in place.
And then he came up to them and he goes, "How would you guys like it if I held you down?" I was like, no, trust me, they're fine. We're playing tag, I promise.
We're playing tag.
Yeah, that was easy to explain. Yeah. Today's second guest
Here we go.
has a secret YouTube channel that he will not tell me about, Austin Murphy. I don't know what it's called, that's all I know.
Shh, it's a secret.
And today's third guest is the world's fastest button masher, my brother Christopher Manella.
Oh yeah.
Can speak
fast.
to that, yeah.
Fast boy.
He is a fast boy.
I'm a speedy little boy.
Unreal how fast he presses buttons.
Yeah.
Like, not even
At
fair.
least kind of fast.
Okay. We have to go to a quick little break, but when we come back, we're going to tell you what today's very special topic is. We will be right back. Is there something preventing you from achieving your goals? Well, don't worry, because BetterHelp will fix that. BetterHelp will assign you your own licensed professional therapist based on your specific needs. And you don't even have to leave your home. It's all online in a safe and private environment. In just under 48 hours, you can start communicating. It's not self-help, it's not a crisis line, it's professional counseling done securely online. You can schedule weekly video or phone sessions with your counselor, and you have the ability to message them at literally any time. It's also more affordable than traditional counseling, and financial aid is available. Plus, when I was signing up, I realized how easy it is to get started. You literally just go on their website, fill out some questions, and that's it. And there's no more being limited to the counselors who are local to just your area, because this service is available to everyone worldwide. And whatever you need, they have covered. They have counselors that specialize in self-esteem, stress, anxiety, relationships, so on and so forth. And of course, whatever you tell them is confidential. I want you to start living a happier life today. As a listener, you'll get 10% off your first month by visiting our sponsor at betterhelp.com/culture35. Join over 1 million people who have taken charge of their mental health. Again, that's BetterHelp, HELP.com/culture35. Thanks again to BetterHelp for sponsoring today's episode. Being that it's both the busiest and the most stressful time of the year, sometimes I need a second to breathe. I need to wind myself down, and the best way for me to do that is by playing Best Fiends. Best Fiends is a match 3 style puzzle game and an adventure game all rolled into one. And it's not like other games where you beat it and then you're just done with the game. There are new levels being added all the time. It's got a great storyline, collectible fiends, fun puzzles, pretty much anything that I could ever look for in a game, this game has it. It honestly might be the best puzzle game that I've played. I genuinely love it. In fact, I wish I had more time to play it. I can't put it down. And just say you're traveling somewhere, you don't have Wi-Fi, doesn't matter. You can play it whenever you want and wherever you want, because there's an offline mode. And it's not easy, it's challenging, so it's going to keep you engaged the whole time. There are thousands of pre-existing levels, so you're really never gonna get bored. Playing it just makes me feel like a kid again. I mean, seriously, who says that kids are the only people who can have fun playing games anymore? And guess what? It's free to download. Download Best Fiends free today on the App Store or Google Play. That's friends without the R. Best Fiends. Thank you to Best Fiends for sponsoring today's episode. And we are back. Okay, guys. So, as you know, this is the very first episode of the new year. So I figured there was a lot of fun that happens last year. A lot of really, really good topics. What if we take some of our best moments from last year and we put them all together for one episode? So our top 3, our most popular episodes from last year are Aliens, Black Eyed Children, and Dogman.
Dogman!
Oh my God!
He's back!
He's back. So we are telling one story of each today, different topics, and only one of these is fake.
I'm so excited. Oh my God. What a great episode.
Yeah.
I was
Today's
not
fun.
told to say this.
Yeah, I'm super, super excited. We get to bring back some of our most popular topics. Are you guys ready to jump into story number 1?
It's in a lower octave, but those are the notes. I swear.
For those of you who are confused, Toph just played into the mic on his virtual keyboard. Story number 1. This story happened in April of this year. A man and his dog went to go visit his friend who lives in an RV park. At about 10 p.m., his dog had to go out to do his business, so they leave the RV. This man is just looking up at the stars, and when he looks down, he sees the silhouette of a creepy-looking child under a lonesome streetlight. It looked like he was somewhere between 9 and 12, and it almost looked as though the child was T-posing, and each of his hands are like in the shape of a C. This thing is standing there completely motionless, and the man is trying to get a better look at it and figure out what this thing is, but even though he's under a streetlight, this thing is not reflecting any sort of light off of the child at all. The man sat there for a few minutes staring at this thing, waiting to see any sort of movement, any sort of flinch, anything at all, and he sees nothing. It is completely still. He actually thinks that maybe this is some sort of mannequin that was put there or a cardboard cutout that was put there to prank people. He even pulls out his phone to try and take a picture of it, and his phone can't pick up anything. It's just black. The man saw another couple walk behind this thing in the park, and they didn't notice this thing at all. It was like they couldn't see it, only this man could see it. He was kind of confused. Maybe they were just ignoring it. Who knows? He looks down at his phone to check the time real quick, and when he looks back up, this thing is gone. He was really, really creeped out at this point. The man just decided to take his dog and start walking back to the RV. As he turns around and he's walking back, he hears something running up really fast behind him. So the man spins around as quickly as he can, and he sees this child with gray skin and black eyes. And the child says to him, "Ha! I scared you, didn't I?" And then the kid just disappeared. When the man got back to the RV, he told his friends that he was staying with what just happened, and the friend said, "This site specifically has been infamous for black-eyed children sightings." And that is the end of story number 1. I'm going to give you guys some time to discuss. Go.
The initial thing I was going to say, but then it kind of changed, was that I remember the black-eyed children stories from that episode of the podcast. They were all always, they would try to make contact with the person. Like, hey, can you bring me to this place? Or like just go after them. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it was a little suspicious that the kid just said, "Ha, I scared you," and then disappeared. Usually they kind of have malicious intent. I think the lore of them is that they are malicious.
Yeah, and like me and Toph were saying, the wordplay was off to him. It was just sounded like it sounded artificial. It sounded like it wanted to be read and dramatized.
Yes,
is that a word? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I know what I'm saying.
You ready to start number 2?
Number 3 is gonna be Dog Man.
Yeah.
Yes.
Bring it.
Is there something that's interfering with your happiness or something that's preventing you from achieving your goals? Well, that's where our sponsor, BetterHelp, comes in. BetterHelp will assess you, and based on your specific needs, they'll assign you your own licensed professional therapist. And connecting with someone is so convenient, you don't even have to leave your home because it's all online. In just under 48 hours, you can start communicating with someone. Now, it's not a crisis line, it's not self-help, it's professional counseling done safely and securely online. You can send a message to your counselor at literally any time, and you can schedule weekly video or phone sessions. It's also more affordable than traditional counseling, and financial aid is available. Plus, it's super simple. When I was signing up, I realized how easy it is. You literally just go on their website and fill out some questions, and then that's it. This service is available to clients worldwide, so the struggle of finding a counselor local to you is no more. They have counselors who have specialized in anger, depression, anxiety, self-esteem, so on and so forth, so whatever you need, they've got covered. And of course, everything you say is 100% confidential. I want you to start living a happier life today. As a listener, you'll get 10% off your first month by visiting our sponsor at betterhelp.com/culture35. Join over 1 million people who have taken charge of their mental health. Again, that's BetterHelp, HELP.com/culture35. Thank you to BetterHelp for sponsoring today's episode. So I work a lot, like literally all the time, and while I do love it, it's also stressful at the same time, and sometimes I need to take a second and wind down, and the best way for me to do that is with Best Fiends. Best Fiends is both an adventure game and a puzzle game at the same time. And there's always something to do. There's constantly levels being added, so it's not like one of those games where you just beat it and then there's nothing else to do. It's got a great storyline, collectible fiends, fun puzzles, pretty much anything that I could ever look for in a game, this game has it. It honestly might be the best puzzle game that I've played. I genuinely love it. And there's an offline mode, so you could play it whenever you want and wherever you want. You don't have to worry about having Wi-Fi. And I gotta say, it is a challenging game. It makes you think. It makes when you beat a level even more satisfying. You will always have something to do with this game. There are thousands of pre-existing levels. And who says that games are just for kids? I mean, seriously, I love this game. Kids are gonna be jealous of all the fun that I'm having playing it. And the best part? This game is free to download. Download Best Fiends free today on the App Store or Google Play. That's friends without the R. Best Fiends. Thank you again to Best Fiends for sponsoring today's episode.
Welcome back, Bayside!
Streaming only on Peacock.
Can't wait to start junior year.
Saved by the Bell is back.
This is gonna be awesome!
And taking school spirit
Our rivals just destroyed our mascot.
We're gonna crush Valley.
to the max.
If we don't learn from the past, we are doomed to repeat it.
That's why we have all these reboots of teen shows from the 90s. Get a new idea, Hollywood.
Saved by the Bell. New season streaming now.
Let's do this, baby.
Only on Peacock.
Story number 2. Almost 3 years ago in Brownsville, Tennessee, a man and his now ex-wife were sitting on the couch watching television together. And they're not sure exactly what time they fell asleep, but it must have been around 8 or 9 p.m. because the last thing that the man remembers watching is Law and Order. Then the next thing the man remembers is him sitting at the end of his bed, completely naked. And he looks over, and his wife is also there, completely naked, and she's just staring at the floor.
I can't tell if this is the alien or the Dogman story.
Well, it's definitely not Dogman.
Well, we don't know that yet.
We don't know. Yeah, this could go anywhere.
Oh, God.
Without looking at him, she says, "What just happened?" The man checks his phone and now realizes that it is 4 a.m. All that time is completely lost. She looks over at him and says, "Did you see them too?" She had tears in her eyes and she was quivering as she started describing these tall, thin, blue, very human-like creatures that were all standing over her. But their mouth was kind of more up, like where a regular human's nose is, and their eyes were wide and spread apart. She remembers seeing these things communicating with each other when one of them realized that she was awake, and then one of them sprayed something over her, and the next thing she remembered after that is waking up in her room naked. She said that she saw her husband laying next to her before they both woke up, and he was also unclothed. They believe that they were a part of some sort of alien abduction, being a part of some sort of experiment. This event took such a toll on her and on their marriage that eventually the marriage fell apart. She even went as far as blaming him and saying that he did something to her that he's not telling her. But the only thing that he's confident in is that this was some sort of extraterrestrial abduction. He had no part of this. That is the end of story number 2. I'm going to give you guys some time to discuss. Go.
I don't think it's this one.
I don't either.
Okay, we're moving on.
All right. Minigame.
Good. Story 3.
Minigame time.
There's just no discussion?
I mean, do I think it's real? Probably, like, real as in, like, it actually happened? Probably not. I feel like they were just watching, they were binge watching a lot of Law and Order, and it got to their head. I don't know. Just seems very Law and Order like. Like, if there was an alien episode of Law and Order, that would have been it.
For me, it's sad. It's sad and depressing, so I get the realism in it. You know what I mean? And like even before Anthony had stated that the marriage would dissolve due to this, I was literally thinking to myself, damn, imagine you're dating somebody, you're married to somebody, and then something like this happens. It's like, no matter what, you're always thinking about this moment. It could eat away at you, and it's like, damn, that's really sad. And like, I can actually believe that. Like, not that they actually were taken, but like, something like this caused a strain on somebody's life or something like that. Like, I don't know, it just makes sense to me. That's really depressing.
We are going to play a quick little mini game before we tell story number 3. But let's spice things up a little bit. Christopher, give me a random word. Any word, go.
Octopus.
Octopus. Okay.
Spider-Man was right there.
Ryan, give me a random word.
not
Go.
yours.
Random word.
Yes.
It can be any word. It doesn't have to be an animal. Because initially I wanted to say platypus, but he said an animal, so I'm going to pick something else.
Give me a random, yeah.
Fork.
That's good. All right, Austin, your turn.
For what?
Any random word.
Any random word.
Yeah, preferably some sort of like object or some sort of creature, not like an adjective, you know what
All
I
right,
mean?
I'm going to do the first thing that comes to my mind right now.
Okay.
Tortoise.
Okay. You guys are going to invent your own mythical creature now using those 3 words. Okay?
What was yours again?
Octopus.
What was yours again?
Fork.
Octopus, fork, and tortoise.
Oh, this is an awesome creature.
okay.
Oh, yeah.
The
All right,
fork has
go.
tentacles.
And the shell, too.
I got this. All right. Hear me out. It's a shell, like a tortoise shell. But instead of the head of the tortoise coming out, it's a fork that comes out. And the prongs of the fork are tentacles.
What about the rest of the shell?
Wait.
That's on you guys. I
Ryan.
did my
I got it. Shell,
Yes.
fork head,
Yes.
8 tentacles coming out of the sides.
okay.
Okay. So then can we have mini turtle heads on each fork prong?
Not allowing it.
I'm gonna veto that one.
No,
Suction cups at the end of the fork prongs? We need something.
What if all of at the end of the tentacles are little baby forks?
Yeah.
okay, yeah.
And it moves slow.
But fast.
No, wait. It should totally like its tentacles. Its tentacles fork into the ground. Like the edges are forks, and it walks on the forks.
Yeah,
you know what
yeah.
I mean? It's just like
Okay, what does the creature do?
it forks.
No,
It eats food.
It's important to know that this creature goes fast and slow. Like it's not contradictory. It's both.
It's both.
it just chooses when to do what?
No. It's always doing both.
And I think this creature's typical habits are its 2 favorite things to do are fine dining and breathing.
Yes. Oh, 100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
You got a name for it?
Fork.
The tortoise.
Forkus.
Fork the tortoise. The puss.
Tor fork. Forkapus.
Fork tortopus.
Torta fork. Torta fork puss. Puss. Fork. Octo fork.
I'm gonna need one name.
Octo.
Octo. I like the octo start.
Octo fork.
No, wait.
Turbo Annihilator.
Octo.
No.
Octo Fortis.
I kind of like Austin's name.
Jeremy.
Yeah.
Anthony Manella.
That is a horrifying creature.
Octo Jeremy 11.
My vote is for
Tocto fork.
Doc Ock.
Doc Fork.
So are we settling on that?
No.
No.
Dr. Otto Fortavius.
Yep, we're getting closer. That's for sure.
Dr. Octo Forco.
Dr. Octo Forco.
Tordo.
Tordo.
Dr. Octo Forco Tordo?
Bowser.
Yeah.
Bowser.
Dr. Octo Forco Tordo Bowser.
That can do anything.
Doug
That
Bowser.
can do anything.
Doug Bowser, president of Nintendo.
Wait, what is it?
Doug Bowser, president of Nintendo.
Yes.
Wait, we're not
I
done.
think we got it. No?
All right, just give me some sort of lore to this character, and I think we're good. Like,
Lore.
does he like go after people on
He
Sundays?
fine dines and he breathes.
Yeah,
What
we
more do
mean-
you need to know?
Yeah, but like, why does he pick his victims?
Victims.
Who said he kills
Wait, hold
people?
on.
we
He's
didn't
passive.
we didn't say we were making a monster.
He's a hero.
He only
All right.
he only hurts people when absolutely necessary.
Yeah, like he's hungry.
And when he does it, he does damage.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
like
There's no survivors.
So, in other words, he is pretty
you
deadly.
just don't want to use his forks to eat food.
So our creature he's typically found around expensive like 5-star restaurants.
He's usually working there.
What's his favorite restaurant to both work at and eat at?
Oh, Sam's Club.
His favorite restaurant is Sam's Club.
He does not the free samples.
Oh yeah.
He doesn't go to the food court. He just goes around
goes
the
out,
store.
yeah.
He's at Costco giving out the
that's
free
where they do
samples.
it.
And like no one even like looks at him weird either.
No.
I feel like everyone's just like cool with him. They're like, there he goes, Forky.
Yeah.
Fork
Whoa,
boy.
His name is not
That's
Forky.
not
Yeah, but his
You
name is
really
so
just call him
long, I was
Forky?
not gonna repeat it.
Dr. Otto Fortavius.
That can do anything.
I can do anything.
I thought it was Forco Tordo Bowser.
Right, it was-
Yeah, it's also
America,
Bowser.
That can do anything.
Nintendo.
Octo,
That can do
Forco,
anything.
Tordo, Bowser, that can do anything. Second.
No,
Beanie.
President of Nintendo's also in there too.
President of Nintendo.
Yeah.
Ruler of the world.
Ruler of the world and beyond.
And all of everything.
Well, anyway, thank you for our new mythical creature. I hope that it gets added to a list of mythical creatures on Wikipedia or somewhere.
I would love to see them put that name in.
What if we had like a podcast episode dedicated to him? With two
Today
real.
we're talking about sightings of Forko
Go on,
say his
October.
name. Say
I
it.
don't remember
Say it correct.
it.
You really don't know it?
It starts with
No.
Oh my
It's not
God.
even that hard.
We're going to take a quick little break, and when we come back, we're going to get into story number 3. We will be right back.
And we're back.
And we are back.
Just said that.
Okay. Are you guys ready to hear story number 3?
Oh, yeah. I've been waiting for a Dogman story since the last
Here we
Dogman
go.
episode.
What if he was tricking
Dogman.
us and it's not Dogman now?
I will leave.
I'll leave too. Story number 3.
Dogman.
In 2019, a man decided, you know what? I've had enough of dealing with people. I'm done with this. I don't want to see anybody. He went to the woods in a random spot in Delaware County to go live a secluded life. He found a nice little spot and said, you know what? This is a good spot. This will be my campsite for the entire summer. So his campsite was on a large hill over a large outcropping of rocks, so there was really only one way up. You had to scale up the rocks to get there. So there wasn't really any way for wildlife or any intruders to get to the man. And on top of that, to be extra safe, the man set up a bunch of traps and tripwires all along his campsite as a security system in case anybody tried to come for him.
Heck.
This guy is paranoid.
So, is this story even about Dogman, or is this just about the guy?
Oh, wait.
It's about to be a clash.
Yeah, who's weirder, the dogman or the man?
Yeah, I feel like
the
we
man.
are, the war is coming.
It's about to be. Yeah, they're setting up the scene.
Then he set up his tent, and to top all of that off, he covered his tent in shrubs and tree branches and whatever he could find, so this way you could not see his tent from a distance. It just blended in.
What happened to this man?
So one night, after a really, really heavy rain, a dense fog rolled in, and he's just sitting in his tent, all alone, reading a book. Sometimes he would send texts to his sister just to let her know that he's okay.
Got service out there?
He does have service out there, apparently. It's about 1 a.m., and he starts to get a really, really strange feeling. He kind of just shrugged the feeling off and went back to reading, when all of a sudden, he heard something run up to the side of his tent and start angrily barking. The man was so confused because there was no way that a dog could have climbed up this rock face, and even if it did, it for sure would have set off one of the tripwires. The man was frozen in fear and then decided, okay, I should probably text my sister and let her know that there's something outside of my tent just in case anything happens to me. So that's what he does, and just then, the noises stopped. The man was completely paralyzed, and he thought, okay, I am going to die. Just then, something grabs him. It picks him up and starts repeatedly smashing him into the ground.
No way. Oh, God.
When he grabbed him, did he grab him by the neck? That's an important detail.
I don't have that information. I imagine no, though. It was so strong that it threw him like a rag doll. The man went flying, and this thing sounded otherworldly. It was making these otherworldly cries and these really crazy, heavy breathing. After what felt like a lifetime, it just stopped. Dogman was gone.
Wait, just stop pounding his face in?
Stopped pounding his
So
face
after
in.
it threw him, and he heard its otherworldly screams, it continued to go over there and just slam him around.
I don't know exactly what it was doing. I don't have all that information. All I have is that a bunch of time passed, and then eventually things were gone. He somehow was miraculously still alive. He called 911, and he told his sister about the whole thing, and his sister said to him, I'm pretty sure that you just survived a dogman attack. And that is the end of story number 3. I'm going to give you guys some time to discuss. Go.
There is no way that man got slammed around with that much force and was able to get up and go to his phone
Right.
and text his sister. No way. Or
Maybe
call
his phone was in his
911.
pocket.
It would have been destroyed. It would have been smashed to pieces.
He's calling 911 also. I thought he gave up on society. Oh, Dogman comes now. My society's just, I beat you guys now. It's like, bruh, you gave up on us, huh? Now you need us, huh? It's like, come on.
Guy couldn't handle it.
Don't believe in it. This one sounds, it kind of sounded fakey-dakey.
What a chump.
No, I think it's this one. There's just too much going on.
I'm not willing to jump on this one just yet.
Remember
still
the
be number one.
lonesome
Streetlight.
It could still be number one. I don't think it's number two.
Number one
but
had T-posing.
Yeah, number one had T-posing and the lonesome streetlight. I would like to pick number one with that alone.
It was 2021.
Lonesome.
2021 also. This year.
That was this year. All of these were pretty recent. I don't know when the alien one was.
I'm gonna recap all 3 stories.
Yeah.
And then give you guys some time to discuss.
Please do.
So story number 1 was about the black-eyed children. This guy goes to visit his friend who lives in an RV park. When he was out one night taking his dog for a walk, he sees a child T-posing, standing completely still. The kid's hands are in the shapes of a C. The guy looked down at his phone. When he looked back up, child is gone. The man starts running away, and then he hears this child following him. The child says, "Ha, scared you, didn't I?" Disappears. Story number 2, couple sitting on the couch watching Law & Order. Next thing that they know, they wake up, neither of them have clothes on. The wife swears that she remembers seeing 3 creatures standing over her. She thinks that she remembers seeing her husband next to him as well, and it takes a huge toll on their marriage. They end up getting a divorce, and she thinks that he did it. She puts the blame on him. It was something that he did, even though he's convinced that they were abducted. Story number 3, a man goes to live a secluded life in the woods and gets picked up and put down over and over again by Dogman. Yeah, I mean, that's really all that needs to be said there. He sets up some traps and calls his sister, texts his sister. Yeah, those are your 3 stories. Go.
Oh, yeah, I think it's story number 1 still.
I think there's a lot of flaws of story number 3. With like the biggest one being that this man gets slammed around by Dogman. His phone doesn't break. His bones don't break. He's not completely immobile or knocked out at all. And he's able to call 911 for help after he swore to give up on society, which he technically didn't because he was still talking to his sister with his cell phone. And somehow he had service in the middle of the woods.
Whoa, wait. That's another thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm down to go with 3. There's also some inconsistencies. After some time, everything finished and Dogman left. What was everything? He had just thrown him. It was finished. He's just chilling there. You know what I mean? So like, what was that everything that's implied? I think the third one does have some potholes. The first one has some poor language, but people online have poor language all the time.
Lonesome streetlight.
But like, also in story number 3 though, would the person who wrote the fake story add all these details of how much of a survivalist this man was? Going out into the woods, he set all these traps, he did all these things. He's so perfect at surviving in the woods.
Sounds like a story that's fake.
Yeah, maybe.
You know, because honestly, to me, the first story, it's like, oh, there's this kid, you know, it's a little spooky. The T-pose is like, well, that's a little strange. That sounds like somebody online would write that. But then it's done, it's a little harmless. The second one, it's like, well, this is just, you know.
Yeah.
The second one's like, if we lose, we lose. The third one, it's like, this is a battle. This is setting up. We have Dogman. He's this titan. We have a survivalist who set up all this stuff. Who will win this battle? You know, it's literally so like picture perfect for us. I really do think it's 3.
Like, I totally see the argument for 1. I thought 1 was a
Just
really
the
bad black
vocabulary.
guy. I also thought it was a really bad black-eyed children story. They're supposed to be malicious, and it wasn't malicious. That's like the big red flag to me. But I think that the person who wrote the fake story knows, like, why would they not follow the lore of it? You know, that's a really big issue there. That someone online probably did write that and get it wrong, because there's no way whoever made the fake story intentionally didn't follow the lore of the black-eyed children.
Yeah. Lock it in at number 3 then. Dogman.
Locking it in.
We are locking in story number Dogman
3
as the fake story.
Guys, it is not story number 3. You want to take a second guess for fun?
No. Hold on.
What? Where's Ryan going? For audio listeners, oh my God! For audio listeners, Ryan just threw a blue shell at me.
It was necessary.
Because he got it wrong, I guess. And I should clarify that it's stuffed. It's a stuffed animal. He did not throw a real blue shell at me. I'm not hurt.
That was a tortoise octopus.
Yeah, that's our forkopus.
Okay, well, anyway, second guess or no?
Story number 1.
It's... I don't know.
Please be story. I hope it's story number 2. So can it be? We're guessing story number 1. I hope the right answer is story number 2. So I could just be like, I would never guess this. I don't care.
All right, yes, story number 1.
It was story number 2.
Oh, thank God.
Good.
Yeah,
All right.
I would never picked it. Yeah.
I'm
very good.
I'm okay. I'm
Right.
satisfied.
I don't care.
I could live my life.
Good story on.
Well, I'm really glad you guys brought props to destroy me with after you lose. Anyway, that means that stories 1 and 3 were supposedly real. Someone claims that this Dogman story really happened to him.
way.
Thank you guys for joining my 2021 recap of the podcast. Some of our best topics, our best moments. That is about it. Thank you guys so much for watching and listening. If you're listening anywhere where you get your podcasts, then make sure to give us a rate and review. And don't forget to subscribe to the podcast for free. It really, really helps us out. And if you're watching the video version, leave a comment down below letting us know what you thought, and subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss when we post new episodes. If you have stories of your own, make sure to send them in. I can use your true stories for true stories, and I can use your fake stories for lies for future episodes. So send everything my way to either Cult235 on Instagram or truemythsonlie@gmail.com. That is about it. Thank you guys so much for everything. We'll see you again next week with a brand new episode. Bye, guys.
Hi, I'm Randy, and this is Dave.
We're the founders of Bombas, the most comfortable socks in the history of feet.
So comfortable, we sold and donated millions of pairs.
To sell and donate a lot of socks, we became obsessed with comfort.
We reinvented the sock from the ground up, adding comfort innovations along the way.
It worked. People tried them, loved them, told their friends about them,
helping us sell and donate millions of pairs.
Try them now at bombas.com/comfy and get 20% off your first order. That's BOMBAS.com/comfy.